And thinking about mental health and thinking about the state that the world is in, it just gives me reason for pause and reason to realize that things are really challenging for a lot of people. Those who need to be out and about and, move around, this is probably just painful for them. And those that have health issues, it's definitely difficult. Those that have substance abuse issues, again, more difficulty. And if anyone has a compounded issue, of course, the difficulty it rises, right? It's more difficult because people are just used to a different lifestyle. Now, although it's almost been a year, the majority of our lives we've been able to come and go and do things totally independent. So this is a new phase, a new way of living and existing and interacting and making connections and just traveling, everything. No matter what you think of, it's totally different. And my point of expressing all that is because my newsletter, I was saying it's okay. It's okay to not be okay, which is Demi Lovato's a title song of hers. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've never heard the song, and if I did hear it, I didn't realize I was listening to it. And the point of it all is that it's a perfect title. Turning off this phone, it's a perfect title because it definitely reflects on what we're dealing with. And for men, I'll be honest with you, not that it's only for men, but men, we really got it bad. And the reason why I say we got it bad is because we are really hard on being honest with ourselves about how we are. Now, of course, this is not just about men, it's about people that have a challenge with coming to terms with what things are, how they are. Sometimes it's just difficult. You feel like it's an inferior move or it's a sign of weakness to admit that you're not okay. And truth be told, it's not a sign of weakness because first and foremost, you're a human being. And all people have the opportunity of experiencing the full range of emotions. And you may not choose to want to feel a particular emotion, but the point still is you're human. And because you're human, you may be exposed to an emotion that you did not plan on, did not see coming, and it hits you, bam, right out of nowhere. So now that emotion, that feeling is thrust upon you. And again, old school thinking, you're a man, man up, don't cry, don't show your emotions, whatever the case may be. I hear you. But you know what? The truth is, you're still a human. You're a man that you're a human being first, and your gender is secondary. And a lot of people may not believe that, may not agree with it. I get it. You know what? But I'm gonna tell you right now, I will not be that guy. I will not be the kind of person that says, because society tells me that I am supposed to be a certain way, that I am supposed to respond a certain way. That's my only option, to follow that script. And I don't believe that. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right to force someone based on their gender or their genitalia to act a certain way. Now, I don't believe that you should be walking down the hall crying or walking down the street crying or every time someone says something to you, you're sobbing. No, that may need a little more serious care. But at the same time, if you're a person that's emotional or a person that's sensitive, that's how you're made, and you should understand that. Now, maybe you should learn how to refrain sometime from letting that get the best of you, but not to ignore those feelings and sensitivities because society puts certain sensitivities with certain genders versus others. So that's just me. So my point again is that it's okay to not be okay, especially now. And in fact, now we probably will experience that emotional roller coaster over and over again many times because of the fact that this is not our norm. And I think the most reclusive person probably would like to get out, even if it's on their own terms. Meaning that if it's winter, they're normally going out, or if it's night, they're going out, or if it's early in the day and their whole objective is to avoid people, they're going out. But now things are totally different. Just remember, you are an individual and you don't have to live up to anyone else's standards. And society has done us in already for I don't know how many years, maybe 100 or so years, if not more. We've been told that we're supposed to live a certain way, we're supposed to act a certain way. Now, within reason, I agree with that as far as respect, as far as manners, as far as making an effort to care for yourself. But beyond that, every little nook and cranny. For example, you've got to go to school, right? You got to go to college and have this perfect life or this specific life. College is not for everybody. But if you left it up to society and you don't do what society says you're doing, there's something wrong with you. And I think that's really unfair because you have to get to know the person first, because that person may be wired different. That person's interests, sensitivities, mode of operation may be entirely different. So to force that person to go to college or to go to a trade school, whichever it may be, first find out what kind of person he or she is. And then make the necessary suggestions and then fill in the blanks so that they have an idea of what's before them or what can be before them. That's one of the reasons I wrote the book, What's So Hard About Being You, because I knew that a lot of people, felt like they were following this formula and things were supposed to be a certain way, and they did not fit into the mold of what the world looked like. And it's just unfair. I think it's totally unfair that people should have to be exposed to that expectation and then treated a certain way if they don't meet and succeed in that space. It's unfair, and you may be creating a person that has all kinds of experiences that you could never account to. And even though you can say a person should know right from wrong, and they should, when you force a person to go against their innate thinking, ability, talent, skills, they're not fitting in because you're making them fit this square peg into this round hole, and society does not accept them. There's no telling what that person will do to either fit in or to get out of it entirely. And that's part of the whole mental health conversation from a much deeper level, maybe in certain isolated situations. I get that, but still, don't do to someone else what you would not want done to you.